That did not pass at the end of the Rhode Island General Assembly session last week had to do with raising the salaries of the many hotel workers in the state. Mark Murphy is the editor of the Providence Business News, and today's edition of the newspaper outlines this issue in detail on page 3. And this was a hotly lobbied issue. In fact, some of the hotel workers even staged a hunger strike that I think we photographed at the time in an effort to get this, what is it, $15 an hour wage?
It was a $15 an hour minimum wage in the city. The issue was actually a big one nationally. I mean, you've seen a lot of cities and states taking up similar discussions as happened in Providence. And in the end, the state decided to do two things. It's decided to, starting in January, raise the minimum wage. I think it's $8.25 now, up to $9 an hour at the beginning of next year, but also to not allow individual towns and cities to set their own minimum wage, but rather to say, look, there's only going to be a statewide minimum wage, and we're not going to allow this sort of patchwork quilt of different regulations.
And that was despite the fact that a lot of city officials had lobbied for that individual thing. We saw one of the Providence councilmen in the video advocating that.
Yeah, you know, it really is a big issue in many places, especially for hospitality workers. You know, we talk to some who have to work 2 jobs just to be able to afford an apartment and you know, with a roommate. And we know that housing in Rhode Island is expensive, and so this has been documented for years that it's very difficult to get affordable housing if you're working at the minimum wage.
And you already mentioned that the minimum wage will go up to $9 an hour as of next January. What was rejected was that $15 an hour wage, and your article also has a comparison with the hotel workers' wages in Long Beach, California, which is not quite 15, but it's kind of up there, $13.50 an hour.
Well, of course, the LA area is even more expensive to live in than Rhode Island. But I know Seattle actually passed, I think it was a $15 wage, although that's being challenged in court, and you're going to see more and more of this across the country.
Yeah, the hotel workers lobbyists in Rhode Island said they would not challenge this in court, but they are involved in some other efforts, and there's more about all of this in today's Providence Business News. And Mark Murphy, we thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Frank.
That's our Money Watchers Business Lunch. Let's check in again now.